Don't be afraid to eat. We're going to talk about that today. Hello, everyone. Semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. If you're new to the channel, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. In case you're wondering what you're watching, what we're watching here is we're watching me walk. The interesting thing about that is that 23 months ago I couldn't do this. I could barely stand for a couple of minutes without severe pain. Now I'm out here walking every day and doing lots of other things as well. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. It means a lot to me that you spend just a few moments of your day with me. I would like to ask you to help me out. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Drop down in the comments and say, "Hi, Bob." If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification. All these things are absolutely free, and they help me get the word out that it's never too late to change your life. Next month is my 61st birthday, and I'm doing things today that I couldn't do when I was 40. Now let's get on into this thing. Don't be afraid to eat. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking to mostly the new people, but anyone that's having trouble with their carnivore diet, like, gosh, I keep falling off the wagon, or I have this thing that I know I shouldn't have, but I just can't help myself. Now, cravings are a completely different issue. What I want to talk about today is one of the biggest problems, especially for people that are just starting out. But as we continue on our journey, it can creep back in very easily. And that is not eating enough. You know, we get going, even, me at almost 2 years in, sometimes I find myself, because we have been basically brainwashed for the last 40, 50, 60 years, that, if you eat that much, you're going to get fat. Don't eat that much, you're going to make yourself sick, you're going to get fat. All of the things that we have been told. Sorry if that wind noise is hitting the mic. It's a little bit on the windy side out here today, but it is 72 degrees in Omaha, Nebraska. It's supposed to be high in the 40s and 50s starting on Thursday, I think it is. But anyway, it is very nice out today, except for that wind. But because we have been conditioned, brainwashed to not eat, even at my point in the, at almost the 2-year mark, and, I don't really want to call it a stall, but, I lost 150 pounds that first year, and I haven't really lost a whole lot of weight this second year. Now, granted, I've packed on quite a bit of muscle, but there's still that nagging thing in the back of your head. It's like, well, maybe if I ate just a little bit less, that last 15 to 20, 25 pounds I'd like to get rid of will go away. And for those that are just starting out, they many times, because they've been conditioned not to eat so much, like, well, carnivore diet is supposed to be really good, so I'll have this, one burger patty and a couple of eggs and call it good. My advice to anyone, whether you are just starting out or you've been doing this for a long time, If you're running into problems, eat. Don't be afraid to eat. Go ahead and, the 1 meal a day, 2 meal a day, intermittent fasting, long-term fasting, all of that stuff will happen naturally in its own time. But I don't believe we should force that stuff, because food restriction, not eating enough, is nutrient restriction. And we want to make sure our bodies are getting the best nutrition that we can. So if you're feeling hungry or peckish or whatever, have those carnivore foods around ready to go in the fridge. And if you're hungry, eat. It could be that you've been doing, like last summer, I'd been doing OMAD for almost a year. And then I found, as I was doing more things in the summertime, that I had to eat a second meal. So we want to make sure that we're eating enough. I think I just mentioned this in a video a few days ago, but if you remember back when Dr. Berry first did his beef, butter, bacon, and eggs challenge, he said, go ahead and eat as much as you want, as often as you want. You can't gain weight. And Joe over Two Crazy Ketos went out to prove him wrong. He didn't prove him wrong. Now, long term, I don't know. I think there just isn't any problem with eating as much as we want, as often as we want, as long as it's the correct carnivore foods. Now, will our results be a little slower? I don't know. I don't think so. There's a lot of nuance involved in that. And we're just, until you do the N=1 experiment of how much it takes to make you feel satiated, to make you feel full, that's where you're going to land. You have to do that experiment for yourself. Me, I've landed on, and we'll see what happens this summer. So I just had my first miniature golf shift on Sunday, and it was a doozy. I've been eating 1 meal a day, again, over the winter. But I suspect if the spring and summer continue to go at the pace it went at on my first shift, plus all of the other things I have planned for around the house, I can see myself eating twice a day. But when you're first starting out, don't worry about all that stuff. All of the other things will come in time. As I've said many times, eat the meat with its associated fat, add the salt, drink the water. That will get you 90% of the way to where you want to go. In many cases, 95%. You don't have to really play around with this stuff till much later in the journey. Intermittent fasting is good. The benefits of it are out there. But I don't think we should force it, especially if you're just getting started. Just eat. And every time you eat, be in the habit of eating until you're comfortably stuffed with, of course, the correct carnivore foods. Once you get that down, everything else will kind of fall into place. Hopefully some of what I said today made some sense. That's what I've got for you today, folks. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.